For today's episode of Floss and Found, number 9, we are talking about 2005's Stealth, the action-adventure blockbuster film that follows 3 pilots struggling against a 4th pilot brought onto their secret program that just so happens to be an AI called Eddie.
That's not bad for a 10-man.
And what soon happens is some hijinks and, war with like 8 different countries. Pop Tot, this is your choice. What did you think of Stealth?
Why was this my choice?
Well, you're not hurting my feelings, Dick.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell you were thinking. I really don't.
I know how I felt upon this because Jessica Biel was in our last review,
yes.
And I was looking up to see if she had anything new coming around, and I'm like, hey, Stealth is on there. We could review that, and it's only on Tubi, whatever they call it.
Yeah, and it hits all the metrics. It bombed and it had horrible reviews for good reason.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
I gotta go pee-pee.
The Navy obviously backed it some because the Navy allowed the use of some of their scenes and footage, and they were on an aircraft carrier and their stock footage, and the Navy only does that when they approve the message. So there's that.
America, fuck yeah! What you gonna do when we come for you now?
This was Josh Lucas and Jessica Biel at the height of their good-looking status. They're both ridiculously good-looking individuals, right. And they made sure to let you know that.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good-looking?
How many damn movies are in this movie? You could make a movie from the fact that they have this new stealth fighter technology and these 3 pilots out of 400 pilots are flying it. You could make it about the jet with the AI. You could make it about the jet with the AI that turns bad because lightning hits it. You could make it about 3 pilots that take a vacation in Thailand after their first freaking mission. You could make it about one of the pilots crashing in North Korea and the other one has to go back and save her. There's so many plots in this movie.
It's So I just watched Dune, and Dune 2 to be exact, and that's 3 hours. That movie felt 2 hours shorter than Stealth. Stealth felt so goddamn long, and it's 2 hours long. It is, and I mean this so maliciously, it is one of the most immature movies I think I've ever seen. It is so gratuitous with how action is, how people talk, the treatment and direction of women is so gross.
I know I'm not moral. As a matter of fact, I should be arrested for the thoughts that I have right now.
There's ass shots, girls saying the dumbest things.
I gotta go pee-pee.
Jessica Biel's outfit is so non-military regulation. It was just like...
What the hell is even that?
I mean, you got 3 charismatic, good-looking actors with Jamie Foxx, Josh Lucas, and Jessica Biel. Jamie Foxx is about as charismatic as a box of Wheaties.
I bow down before the superiority of the opposite sex in many respects. But from time to time, I believe they should bow down before a man.
He was so annoying and just... Oh, and this is Jamie freaking Foxx. He just came off his Oscar, and I was like, holy shit, you're so annoying.
And he wasn't originally going to take the role. He had scheduling conflicts, and then he jumped into this role
and
last minute.
And I'm sure a big, fat payday helped.
Show me the money!
They said it was great. It did get some sort of head nods for its great CGI in 2005. But I'm watching it, and there's a scene where they basically bombing nukes for some reason, which you would never do.
Yeah.
And because you create a dirty bomb situation, and it shows the smokes going down, and this is where they start having the conflict with the AI EDI jet. And you see the dirty bomb cloud going down, and the aerial view looked like they took it out of Google Maps Street View or something. I was like,
shit, man. I didn't want for this to happen.
What is happening here? This is not good looking at all.
Penetration detonation.
The other part of the immaturity isn't just how the women are set up, but how world conflict is. There is no ramifications or consequence to starting wars on like 9 different fronts.
Did I ever tell you about that foster mother I had?
They're just out and out killing Russian jets.
Yeah.
Him and the EDI guy, Josh Lucas's character, which I think it was Gannon or something.
Something stupid, yeah.
They had to team up and fight these Russian jets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, there's a World War conflict there.
Yep.
She crash lands with a high-tech, completely top-secret military jet in North Korea.
Yep.
And is on a run. She kills a bunch of soldiers. They kill a bunch of soldiers rescuing her, and somehow they make it across one of the most landmine demilitarized zones in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this could turn out to be a long tour.
Just from the get-go, I mean, the movie sets up this Talon squadron that they're working with Eddie and I think it's in Myanmar to stop this thing. And so they go in, and Josh Lucas right off the bat is an idiot. I mean, the whole point is that they create this Eddie profile plane to save lives.
You don't think I consider the consequences every time I send you guys up there with bombs strapped to your ass?
And so he goes and risks his life by basically absorbing max G's in a potential situation where he could have crashed and killed a shitload of people, and they blow up this building and it's falling, and I'm like, this is only like 3 or 4 years after 2001, 9/11, and I was like, we know that buildings, when they fall, they don't just fall and just those people in that particular building die. We see civilians everywhere.
And they said zero casualties.
Zero casualties.
And I'm like, it showed people on the streets when they were getting out of their cars going into the building.
I just don't think that in war, the action should ever be divorced from the consequences.
Waffle for 15 points.
I think it was before, when they were in like a test run, that became a real mission, which would never happen. They're not going to do a real mission on the go.
We are upgrading this file from a scenario to a tactical action plan. Repeat, we are upgrading the file.
Because again, the jet fighter planes need fuel, which is a huge another point in the movie.
There's a huge blimp carrying fuel, apparently.
Oh my god! And then they created, just the whole movie just lacks so much.
If it stops being terrible, what's going to stop us?
It feels like it was written by like an 8-year-old.
Well, that's a lot to prove.
They locked Eddie out from getting said fuel, and he decided to pull back and shoot the hose,
and then
so he can just
stick his hose in the little hose.
Stick his hose in the hose, and I'm like, oh. Why didn't this jet fuel? Why didn't that explode when he shot the hose line?
And then so Eddie starts this war. He gets Jamie Foxx's character killed, which subsequently really is Jamie Foxx's character's fault.
Henry, drop back! You gotta drop back!
Jessica Biel's character stranded in North Korea, and then through all this, Eddie becomes the good guy.
Yes, and the captain, played by Sam Shepard, suddenly is now the evil bad guy, willing to throw everybody under the bus.
Right, when the whole point was that he was doing this to save lives.
And you're going to pass it on to your people, who in turn are going to give it to the Russians. And how do you feel about black body bags? What am I supposed to tell all the weeping mothers, that we could have got the job done without sacrificing their sons and daughters?
But the best part of the movie, which was the hardest I've laughed in a movie in forever, is when they get to the demilitarized zone. Josh Lucas is saving Jessica Biel, and they're running, and there's a helicopter that comes in from North Korea. It's gunning them, and Eddie just goes and sacrifices itself, and they have this sad music. And I just started laughing. Was like, what? But he started like 3 different wars. What?
Stop bullshitting.
I have no idea what the hell this movie was.
And then it's funny because in my head, they introduced the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln. They introduced the captain, the skipper of that boat, the actor that was the creator of Skynet and T2.
Yeah.
And as soon as he walked in, I was thinking that dude's like, can you stop putting me in AI movies?
Well, you're not hurting my feelings, Dick.
It was definitely a product of its time. It had so much CGI, none of which really looks good.
No, there's a lot of good movies from 2005.
How much do you know about Davy Jones?
You owe me me your soul.
It was just so weird to me that they fly this mission or a test run off the aircraft carrier, and it turns into an actual mission.
Yeah.
And they come back, and their captain, Sam Shepard guy, tells them, all right, go get some R&R on the beach. And they just got there.
Yeah.
And they spend like 3 or 4 days in what looked like Thailand.
And it's pointless.
What?
Then the creators are like, hey, why don't we have Jessica Biel in love with this guy?
Yeah.
I have to go pee-pee.
And the very last scene of the movie, they're in their dress whites, and they were at a funeral for Jamie Foxx's character in what was the biggest freaking picture of a funeral. I'm like, where did they make that? And so they're looking at each other. She's like, oh, you wanted to say something to me? And he's just kind of hemming on, and she goes,
Just tell me you'll love me, you pussy.
and I'm like, what?
The funniest part about that was Miss Tots said it would have been fun or hilarious if they had a picture of Jamie Foxx and the other picture was Edie.
It's just, they had a picture of the AI.
Because it was so stupid.
The picture was like 6 foot.
It was so large. It honestly felt like they brought the picture frame in, and Jamie Foxx is like, we need a bigger picture. I'm Jamie Foxx.
It was crazy. It's like, why? You're on an aircraft carrier flight deck in the middle of the ocean. That picture would have had to been anchored by the ship's anchor itself.
The end result was perfect.
The movie was directed by Rob Cohen, which a lot of people probably will be familiar from like Triple X. I think the Triple X has charm. It has Vin Diesel doing one of his more known, beloved, like infamous characters, and it works.
None of this is right! I live for this shit!
But here, nothing works. There's nothing about this movie that's charming or funny. It's stupid.
No pictures, please! No pictures, please! Please! Okay, take them! Take them!
And the Oscar goes to...
There is such a jarring movement of the camera.
Oh my god,
and the flight scenes, and
you go fast, whether it's on a skateboard or a car, the less control you begin to experience.
Especially when you watch an aerial masterpiece such as Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. Or even the first Top Gun. Even the first Top Gun.
There is just, it's so jarring. It's so hard to watch. I'm getting a headache from just watching this.
Yeah, it's
that was shit hot.
It's a total disaster. It has a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty tough to do. And it's entirely warranting the consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is loud, preposterous, predictable, and that it heavily borrows unsuccessfully from Top Gun. And as you said, probably about 13 other movies that did it, even the worst movies, significantly better.
Cannot achieve necessary velocity for penetration.
As usual on Lost and Found. Lost, we leave it to the streaming black hole and you just forget about it. Found, you go out and you seek it on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. Stealth, where are we putting it?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't exactly go and seek this out. If you've never seen it or you have seen it and you wanted to watch it again, I would actually, I think you should do everyone a favor. And as you walk by the $5 bin at Walmart, buy as many copies of stuff as you can and then put them in your microwave when you get home.
Yeah.
Waffle for 15 points, I'm kicking your ass, buddy.
You and I grew up watching bad movies, and there's definitely enjoyment to a bad movie.
I gotta go pee-pee.
There's so many good ones, and honestly, I think there's as much to learn from a bad movie as there is a good one. I don't think there's a lot to learn from Stealth. I don't really find it entertaining.
This made me mad. This movie made me angry.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices that are confusing. The movie's so immature with how people talk to each other. There's so many gratuitous sexual shots that don't make any sense. The music's stupid. There's no consequences for anybody's actions at all. And it's a big thud. It's not. The hardest I laughed was when Eddie blew itself up, and they had this like ceremonious music that was just so out of place. It was just so weird.
Well, you're not hurting my feelings, Dick.
It didn't make any sense. Yeah, you're better off enjoying this review and finding something else to watch. Maybe go watch the A-Team or something else entirely.
Agreed.
Do not watch this. But as usual, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. That helps so much in liking and leaving us a comment, letting us know what you thought of Stealth, and future recommendations. Those help so much. We'll see you guys on the next one.
I gotta go pee-pee.